be my pleasure to talk a little bit about the Isthmus of Panama. Panama, it's a very small country. It's 50,000 miles square, about the size of a U.S. state like South Carolina. It has 3 million people, and the capital is called Panama City. Panama, it's like an S. Maybe we can show the map. It's like an S, which is in between the Caribbean and the Pacific. So in Panama, when we go north, we don't go to Canada, we go to the Caribbean. When we go south, we don't go to Mexico, we go to the Pacific Ocean. When we go west, we don't go to California, we go to Central America and Mexico. And when we go east, we don't go to New Jersey, we go to Colombia and South America. That's the way Panama is laid out, like an S in between the Caribbean and the Pacific. You probably know by now that the Caribbean Ocean is named after the Carib Indians who inhabited those islands when the Europeans first came, Christopher Columbus. And we, to this day, use several of their words of the Carib people. For example, barbecue, it's a word of the Carib people, the same as hurricane. It's a word of the Carib people. And hurricane was the name of their god of the storms. So that's how languages of the indigenous people of our part of the world survive to this day. There's so much history that has happened in Panama that it's very difficult to think where to start. And maybe I should just show you a few slides. Panama, it's a very narrow country, and there you see in that map perhaps where two plates, they meet each other, and there is the volcanic chain of Central America and Panama. There have been about 536 volcanoes in Central America, and most of the best soils in our region are a product of volcanic eruptions. Let's move another slide. And for us in Panama and Central America, the dominant feature, what strikes your eye when you come to this part of the world, it's that most of the land is covered by the central highlands. That is to say, the Andes Mountains. 3/4 of Panama and Central America, it's occupied by the Andes Mountains. They are like the rocky backbone of the Americas. They start way down in Chile and travel up north, hugging the Caribbean coast, all the way to California and eventually to Alaska. And then there is a very narrow Caribbean coast and a broader Pacific coast. In Panama, if you see that slide there, that's how a satellite looks at the Isthmus of Panama. And the clouds bearing moisture for rain, they hit the central highlands, and therefore most of the rainfall in Panama falls on the Caribbean side of the isthmus. Whereas in the Pacific side, we have a longer dry season that lasts from 3 to 4 months. So for us, the dry season is like now. It starts in December all the way to April. Let's have another slide, and I would like to show you what the soils of Panama look like. And you see the jungle in the background, and the jungle covers this reddish soil. For example, this island we're in is called Barro Colorado, which means red clay. Most of the soils of Panama are called Tierra Colorada, which means red earth. So under the jungle, for example, where we're here, it's this red soil which is very poor in nutrients. It's not very good for agriculture. So Panama doesn't have that many good soils for agriculture. Let's see if we can have another slide there, and so you can get an idea of what the country, the landscape looks like. The differences in rainfall and soil and altitude give rise to 13 different ecological zones. And there you see Barro Colorado in its full splendor. When you come to Panama in March, that's the way the forest would look, as if a huge giant with different buckets of paint would have leaped over the green canopy of the forest and dabbed the trees with different colors. It's one of the most wonderful and beautiful spectacles in the world, and it is for free. And let's have another slide there. And Panama, it's a small country, but very narrow. It has almost 3,000 miles of coastline. And it has, most of the Panamanians live on the coast or very near the coast. As the saying goes in Spanish, most Panamanians will be costeños. They're coastal people. They don't live in the highlands. They don't live in the desert. They live near the coast. And not only Panama has this very extensive coastlines, but it has 4 great archipelagos. 2 in the Caribbean and 2 in the Pacific. By the way, the name Panama, it's a Cueva Indian word that means abundance of fishes.